Hi, this is my quick thought number 5, and it's an idea for how to find the $1.3 trillion a year that we need to fight climate change in developing countries. COP29 last week in Azerbaijan was another disaster as usual. Everybody seemed to agree that developing countries are going to need $1.3 trillion a year in help. But the rich countries are only offering 300 billion a year, and that in 2035, as if they don't need the money already. We clearly need an alternative source of finance, and I'd like to suggest an idea that I've been pushing since 2012, which is the idea of a global tax on all financial transactions. I've been following the figures from the Bank for International Settlements, which every year produces quite detailed information about transactions in 24 different countries. Last year, their total came to $18.1 quadrillion, up substantially on the previous year. It follows that if you were to tax those transactions at 0.006%, you would generate the 1.3 trillion you need to tackle climate change. But actually, the real number might be a lot less because, firstly, look at the figures, they're going up very rapidly. It's quite possibly the case that in 2024 we've got substantially more than that. But in addition, the Bank for International Settlements neglects to include many key players, such as the Options Clearing Corporation based in Chicago, which is described as the world's largest trading structure. And they don't report value of transaction, but they include the volume. And last year, the volume was this year it's going to be over 12 billion transactions. They don't tell you how much those transactions are worth, but I think it's quite likely that on average they could be $1 million, which would mean that the Options Clearing Corporation on its own would add another $12 quadrillion to the total. So let's call it $30 quadrillion. My proposition is that the United Nations, or whatever structure you want to give the job of doing this, should impose whatever tax level is needed on those financial transactions, wherever they go on the planet, such that you generate the 1.3 trillion you need. This would be an incentive to include all transactions. So any actor that was doing transactions and knew about some place in the Cayman Islands, for instance, where there were transactions going on that weren't being reported, they would be encouraged to reveal those additional transactions. And it could be that in the end, a financial transaction tax of maybe only 0.003% may be enough to find the 1.3 trillion we need. It seems like a no-brainer to me. I don't see why we're not doing this. If you have any suggestions, do leave a comment below. And thanks for listening.